All right, look, now on my channel, we get straight to the content. So listen, man, if you like me, this is going to be a football conversation, but I'm going to be very specific about what I'm talking about, all right? So if you like me, you're a football fan. Now, I am a Cowboys fan, but first and foremost, I am a football fan. I want y'all to know that about me. I watch high school football. I watch college football. I watch the NFL. I don't watch Canadian Football League or none of that stuff, though. But I love football. Football to me in my heart is the ultimate team sport. You know what I mean? And I play fantasy football. I love fantasy football, right? So it's a viral clip going around of the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars talking, and this lady, I can't remember her name, but you could tell it's an older black woman. She's talking to him, and she's like, yo, and you got to remember, Jacksonville just lost, and they played well. I'm not going to lie, they just lost. Trevor Lawrence didn't look terrible. He went head-to-head with Josh Allen. It was a really good game. Even though I'm a Cowboys fan, every game was excellent. I'm not even going to lie, right? Even the Patriots, how they just I don't want to say manhandle, because you got to remember the Chargers had two offensive linemen out, star offensive linemen. But it's just all these games were really, really good, right? So it's a viral clip of a Jacksonville Jaguars lady speaking to the coach, and she's like, young man, she sound like, it touched my heart because it sounded like a black grandma, and I'm black, and I got a black grandma. So they could give you that extra battery in your back to make you want to run through walls type energy. You know what I mean? So she was telling him to hold his head up and this and that and that and this, right? And it was a really good talk, and especially the way sports media, now a lot of this, the way how toxic sports media has to do with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm 41 years old. I've been here since the beginning. I know life before hot takes like that, and I know life with it, right? So it was a breath of fresh air for somebody not to be kicking somebody's back in, right? So I'm about to shift, because we about to have a real conversation, right? So like I said, I'm a Cowboys fan, right? I love the Cowboys, right? I'm from South Jersey and have lived in Philly. So my whole family is nothing but Eagles fans, right? And I might get into why exactly I became a Cowboys fan, being from this area, but maybe not. But so when I watched that viral clip, right, it made me think about culture in sports, specifically football, right? So a lot of times, and if you're a football fan like me and you watching this video, everybody knows the Philly fans for being really, really toxic. Like Eagle fans doing diabolical stuff, bro. Ignorant stuff, bro. If you grew up around if you grew up in a tri-state area like South Jersey, Philly, you even know sports radio is toxic as hell. It's very, very toxic, right? And it had me thinking, like I said, I'm 41 years old. I lived here my whole life. What makes the Philly fan base so toxic? What makes them so hateful? As a Cowboys fan, I can sit here and say, yo, Jalen Hurts does struggle with throwing accurate, right? He was not struggling throwing accurate against the Niners like that. And A.J. Brown is a top receiver, and he played really bad. Jalen Hurts was dotting A.J. Brown up, and he was dropping passes. It almost made me think about when the Cowboys played the Eagles, and CeeDee Lamb was dropping passes, right? But this is not an Eagles versus Cowboys conversation. This is a fan culture conversation, right? So that Jacksonville Jaguars writer just had a real sweet message. And I was reading the comments on multiple videos, and people was like, yo, we need this energy. Yo, Philly fans, they get a bad rap, but they actually have that culture. Philadelphia as a whole has that culture. Remember, this coming from a Cowboys fan, but my whole family Eagles fan, and I lived in Philly, I lived in South Jersey. The fans are very knowledgeable when it comes to football. They are not these treacherous fans that do all this goofy stuff, right? So in your head, all right, he's saying they're not these fans that do this treacherous stuff, but we see these Eagle fans doing that. I want y'all to know, they are not the fans that really create that Philly culture like that. They are not the fans that really make that Eagles culture like that. So like even when the Eagles was on their Super Bowl run, and even to this day, you hear Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares. Philly artists. That's Philly culture. The Philly players was feeling that. Even you had Lil Uzi Vert. Philly artists. Philly culture. The Philly fans was feeling that. Even like they'll call each other heads. I'm not gonna say it because it's early in the video and not like it'll not go out like that. But they call it like they call somebody a D head. That's Philly culture. That's urban culture, right? It's a lot of cool stuff that comes with the Philadelphia Eagles organization and the fan base, but you know what messes it up and no one never talks about it is actually the South Jersey and Flyers fan base. You got to remember, wait, I'm going to give y'all three. South Jersey fan base messes it all up for the Philadelphia Eagles culture. The Flyers fan base messes it all up for the Philadelphia Eagles fan base and the culture. And if I was to say a third one, I would say that South Philly fan base. And remember, I'm 41, so I was raised by Eagles fans that are black. So I'm very familiar. I hate to say it. Listen, I keep it real on my channel. Early in the like 70s and 80s and 90s, the Italian fan base in South Jersey was really, not South Jersey, South Philly was really, really toxic, almost borderline racist. So when I tell you Philly culture and the Philly fan base is amazing, it is. But you got to deal with like a Flyers fan base. Now, y'all might not follow hockey. And I don't follow hockey like that, but I'm very familiar with hockey, right? And living in this area, you're familiar with Flyers fans, right? The Flyers don't have a culture. They don't have nothing fun going on. They don't have nothing cool going on. They don't have nothing swaggy going on. It's just misery and talking trash and fighting. That's what it is. There's no theme song that goes with the Flyers. The Flyers low-key actually don't even have a winning culture. When I was growing up, the Eagles didn't have a crazy winning culture like that. Even though Andy Reid, yes, the Eagles didn't win a Super Bowl, but Andy Reid was providing, and Donovan McNabb, shout out to all the players too, they was providing a winning culture. Now the Eagles have a real winning culture, and all you see is toxic activity. If Jalen Hurts retired right now, you would have to put respect on Jalen Hurts' name. He went to a bowl, played his ass off. Even though he lost, he played his ass off. And he won a Super Bowl. But this local media and these local fans will throw him under the bus. And having family from Philly, it's not the fans in Philly. It's these South Jersey guys. It's these random Pennsylvania guys, not actually from Philly. It's these Flyer fans that are bringing over their boring ass fandom over and being Eagles fans and bringing all this nonsense, bro. I felt like I needed to share that, especially after I seen that lady talk to the coach from the Jaguars. Like, I'm telling you, bro, it's that Flyers hockey BS fan base that makes the Eagles so toxic, bro. More times than not, when you meet an Eagles fan, they just want to talk ball. But it's a high demographic. Listen, I'm not even trying to get all political. But like the Eagles have a right-wing demographic that suck the culture out of the Eagles fan base. Because like I said, I know a bunch of Eagles fans, and it don't get toxic. I be talking. I'm a Cowboys fan. We be popping it. But when it comes to that toxic, Jalen Hurts, like the backup, like at one point, and I could show y'all proof, but we on my channel, so I ain't got to lie. They was acting like the backup quarterback should be starting over Jalen Hurts. How could that even be a real conversation? But you got to remember, where's the conversation coming from? It's coming from that stupid right-wing Flyers fan base the whole time, bro. It's not coming from real Philadelphia fans who love ball. It's coming from South Jersey guys that go to a game in Philly and now they think they know about Philly culture. It's the guys that follow Pat McAfee and Dave Portnoy in South Jersey and these random Pennsylvania places that think they really could speak as a Philadelphia native, and they're not. They don't even provide, like, if they want to talk trash and be toxic, that's cool. You're not even providing to the culture. All you're doing is bringing toxicity and like nonsense to the culture. The Eagles have an actual really good culture and a really fun culture for a fan base, but you get these Flyer fans, these right-wing fans, and these random South Jersey towns that don't even got family in Philly that start popping their stuff, and they make the whole fan base look bad. As a Cowboy fan, shout outs to the Eagles. Y'all didn't get where y'all needed to, and truth be told, y'all lost to a team that y'all was better than, and it is what it is. I'll see y'all next year. Of course, I hope the Cowboys are on top next year. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. I'm out.